Here's Admiral Nikolai Anatolyevich Yevmenov's life and career. Highlights early life and education of Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov, full name. Nikolai Anatolyevich Yevmenov, date of birth, 2nd April 1962, place of birth, Moscow, Russian SFSR, Soviet Union, education. Timeline, 1980-1987, attended the Higher Naval School of Submarine Navigation in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. This institution was one of the premier schools for submarine officers in the Soviet Navy. He received specialized training in submarine navigation and operations, a foundation for his later career commanding strategic nuclear submarines. 1995-1997, studied at the N.G. Kuznetsov Naval Academy, an advanced command-level training school for senior naval officers. Here, Yevmenov would have been trained in fleet-level tactics, operational strategy, and staff command. 2001-2003, completed studies at the Military Academy of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Russia, the highest military institution in the Russian Armed Forces. This is typically reserved for senior officers being prepared for top-level leadership positions, such as fleet commanders and service chiefs. Key traits developed. During education, expertise in submarine warfare and navigation, training in operational, command and staff planning prepared for leadership in strategic-level naval operations. Yevmenov's educational path is consistent with many high-ranking Russian naval officers, moving progressively through increasingly elite and strategic military academies as his responsibilities grew. Let me know if you want insights into how this training influenced his command style or decisions later in his career. Submarine service of Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov. Admiral Yevmenov's naval career is deeply rooted in submarine warfare, particularly within Russia's Pacific Fleet, and spans decades of progressively senior roles aboard and commanding nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, early submarine roles, 1987 to 1991. Post-graduation in 1987, Yevmenov was assigned to the Pacific Fleet. He served on a nuclear-powered submarine as navigator, then head of the Navigation Department, BCH-1, responsible for ensuring precise course plotting, safe submerged operations, and combat readiness of navigation systems. Advanced education and returned to sea, 1995-1999, after completing studies at the N.G. Kuznetsov Naval Academy, 1995-1997, Yevmenov returned to submarine service. He commanded Delta III class ballistic missile submarines, part of Russia's strategic nuclear deterrent force. These subs, Project 66N BDR Kalmar, carry intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and operate mainly in the Pacific and Arctic regions. Rising through submarine command, 1999-2006, Yevmenov joined the 25th Submarine Division of the Pacific Fleet, a key unit in Russia's underwater nuclear force. Roles he held during this period: Chief of Staff of the Division Deputy Division, Commander Division Commander. He oversaw operations, maintenance, and combat training of several nuclear submarines. Between 2001-2003, he also studied at the General Staff Academy, equipping him for strategic-level command roles. Key characteristics of his submarine career: extensive experience with strategic ballistic missile submarines, SSBNs, emphasis on nuclear deterrence, Arctic under-ice navigation, and stealth operations, known for technical competence, discipline, and deep knowledge of submarine operations. Yevmenov's service in the submarine force laid the foundation for his rapid ascent into higher naval leadership. He brought a submarine-centric perspective to fleet operations and was considered one of the most technically capable officers in the Russian Navy. Let me know if you'd like specifics about the Delta III class subs he commanded or the strategic missions of the 25th Submarine Division. Rise to Fleet Command. Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov. After a distinguished career in submarine operations, Nikolai Yevmenov transitioned into senior leadership roles within Russia's surface and submarine fleets. This period marked his entry into operational command at the fleet level, culminating in top naval leadership. Deputy Commander of the Northern Fleet, 2012. In 2012, Yevmenov was appointed Deputy Commander of the Northern Fleet, Russia's most powerful and nuclear-capable naval force. Based in the Arctic and Barents Sea region, the Northern Fleet oversees many of Russia's strategic submarines, surface vessels, and air-sea operations. His submarine expertise was particularly valuable, as this fleet is home to the bulk of Russia's nuclear deterrent submarines. Commander of the Northern Fleet, April 2016. Promoted to Commander of the Northern Fleet in April 2016, succeeding Admiral Vladimir Korolyov, who later became Commander-in-Chief of the Navy. Under Yevmenov's command, the fleet expanded its Arctic capabilities, with new Arctic bases established on Franz Josef Land and the new Siberian Islands, increased deployment of nuclear submarines under the Arctic ice-enhanced logistical and radar infrastructure across the Arctic coast, oversaw the sea trials and integration of newer strategic submarines like the Bore class, Project 955, strategic Arctic operations and exercises, spearheaded multi-domain Arctic exercises, including under ice, navigation and surfacing drills, combined naval air-land maneuvers in high northern latitudes focused on asserting Russian naval power in the northern sea route and Arctic shelf territories. Promotion to Admiral, December 2017. In December 2017, Yevmenov was awarded the rank of Admiral, one of the highest ranks in the Russian Navy. This promotion confirmed his role as a strategic-level military leader and positioned him as a candidate for top-level naval command.
Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy tenure, May 3, 2019, March 2024 rank, Admiral Nikolai Anatolyevich Yevmenov appointment on 3. May 2019, Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy by President Vladimir Putin.
He succeeded Admiral Vladimir Korolyov, his former superior in the Northern Fleet. Yevmenov became the top naval officer in Russia, responsible for strategic planning and modernization oversight of all fleets, Northern, Pacific, Baltic, Black Sea, Caspian, international naval cooperation and diplomacy, modernization and strategic direction, 2019-2022, continued modernization of the Russian Navy with focus on nuclear submarine fleet, oversaw induction and trials of Bore A and Yasen M class subs, surface fleet upgrades, advocated for multi-role corvettes and frigates equipped with Kaliber cruise missiles. Naval aviation, pushed for modernization of anti-submarine aircraft and surveillance systems, increased Arctic deployments and operations under the ice cap. Supported naval basing abroad, including in Syria, Tartus, and explorations in Sudan and Africa. International naval diplomacy represented Russia in naval diplomacy through visits and joint exercises, visited China, Iran, and India, strengthening ties with non-NATO naval powers. Hosted and participated in joint drills, such as Russia-China-Iran trilateral naval exercises in the Arabian Sea, Indo-Russian joint naval exercises, Indra Navy, public role and ceremonial duties, regularly presided over the Russian Navy Day Parade in St. Petersburg, including leading high-profile fleet reviews attended by President Putin showcasing advanced naval vessels and submarines, made speeches emphasizing Russia's maritime heritage and global naval status, setbacks and dismissal, 2023-2024 faced. Growing criticism over losses in the Black Sea Fleet during the Russia-Ukraine war, especially Ukrainian strikes on key ships, e.g. the Moskva cruiser sinking in 2022. Persistent drone and missile attacks on Russian naval infrastructure in Crimea in March 2024, Yevmenov was dismissed from his post and replaced by Admiral Alexander Moiseev. The change reflected internal dissatisfaction with naval command performance in wartime. New role, Naval Academy Director in May 2024, Yevmenov was appointed director of the N.G. Kuznetsov Naval Academy in St. Petersburg. This move allowed the government to retain his experience in shaping future naval officers, despite frontline command failures. Dismissal and new role of Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov. Dismissal from Commander-in-Chief, post-date of dismissal, March 2024. Reason: Admiral Yevmenov was removed from his position as Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy amid mounting criticism related to the Black Sea Fleet's failures during the Russia-Ukraine war. Key issues leading to dismissal. Significant losses suffered by the Black Sea Fleet, especially the sinking of the flagship missile cruiser Moskva in 2022. Ukrainian missile and drone attacks damaging or destroying other vessels in Sevastopol and nearby bases. Repeated penetrations of naval defenses by sea drones. Declining confidence in Navy leadership's ability to protect high-value naval assets, adapt to modern asymmetric threats, drones, HIMARS, etc. Internal reports reportedly faulted slow adaptation and inadequate command oversight. Successor, replaced by Admiral Alexander Moiseyev, then commander of the Northern Fleet and another senior submariner. New role, Director of Naval Academy. Date: appointed May 2024. New title: Director of the N.G. Kuznetsov Naval Academy, St. Petersburg. By presidential decree, signed by Vladimir Putin. Significance of this role. The Kuznetsov Naval Academy is the top naval educational institution in Russia, preparing officers for high command. Yevmenov is now responsible for shaping curricula and strategic doctrines, training the next generation of naval officers and commanders, applying his experience in submarine warfare and fleet leadership in an academic and planning capacity. Interpretation. Though dismissed from active command, Yevmenov was not disgraced. His reassignment reflects the Kremlin's respect for his overall career and experience, a political soft landing, avoiding full removal from the military elite.